Alright, the first step before I start winding is inspect the bobbins, make sure they're straight, in good order, no snags, or pieces of material that can snag the wire. The little nub left over from the tree from injection molding, file that away, make sure that area is nice and smooth. This is the standard butyrate bobbins I use on my vintage stuff. After I go through all four and make sure they're good, then it's time to wind. Alright, so I got slug bobbin of the neck position here on the winder. Wires just taped on, haven't started anything yet. And I don't solder the wire first, the start lead on my stuff. I do it afterwards, just because I wire them a little bit differently than like normal. Or the standard, I suppose. So it starts off with a couple turns by hand to seat the start. Traverse is already set up, and then we start spinning. Okay, this bobbin is all done, ready to come off the winder. Put a little piece of tape on it, keep everything in place, and inspect it, make sure the tension's where I want it before I move on to the next coils. And now it's time for taping up the coils as well as soldering the leads on. I already have a piece of tape laying on the coil right here to protect the coil from the start lead and the wire that's going to be soldered on it. It's pretty straightforward, really. These are plain enamel. This set right here is one of my plain Janes, which I think I already said. First thing would be to strip the enamel coating off of the wire so we can solder it nice. Some people sand them, scrape them with a razor blade. I use a Bic lighter just to flash the coating off. It's not even enough to get the wire red. If you hold the flame there, it'll disintegrate it. You just have to be kind of quick with it. And I can see it flash off as I move the lighter back and forth. I'm probably going a little slower because I'm on camera right now and I don't want to mess it up, but I haven't burnt one yet. So that's done. Strip a little bit off the start lead here. Line that up. For some reason I always wrap the coil wire around it 6 times. It's like a habit. Not like you're going to tear it apart and check it, but tin the soldering iron. Always clean your tip. That's soldered. Looks good. I check it for any burrs, any sharp points. We're fine there. Trim the tip off. This next piece of tape will hold the start lead in place on the coil. Just kind of a pain to do on P90s. That's how deep the bobbin is. We're going to use one more piece of tape on the start lead because we want to protect it. And the finish lead is actually going to run, right next to the start. I don't want anything touching it. And then because both leads poke out here at the end, the bottom of the coil can be exposed a little bit. I use another piece of tape. Run that around. Now anything to do with the start of the coil is totally protected. I'll move on to the finish.
It just sounds like a really good time. It really does. Now, if you haven't had your chance to win yet, fear not. We're still going through it. We'd still like to take you out to Vegas, thank Carlene, Meltdown, Screaming Scott, and Riff Rock Girl, or perhaps referee Juliet, to just make sure that all of those people stay in line, do their jobs properly. As we broadcast live from the Strip, we'll be at the newly renovated Flamingo in Las Vegas. Also having a private party with Chudley and the crew from TV's Pawn Stars. And while we're there, just so happens, Guns N' Roses playing a block of shows, so we'll have some tickets for you for that as well. Go to Vegas, we're going to take care of you in style. You can sit in.
I also try to stagger
have a special section at the Hard Rock.
the solder joints on the start and finish when I lay them out on the coil, so they're not exactly right on top of each other, just to, I don't know, just an ounce of prevention, I guess.
Saturday nights. Sports fanatics, bring your tickets to from any sporting event and pay no cover charge. You won't need long to feel the deja vu difference. 4 VIP rooms, 14 couches.
I'll trim the coil wire off.
Deja vu for 2-for-1 Tuesdays on every dance. Wednesdays, show your union card and pay no cover charge. Thursdays are deja vu bike nights. Sexy showgirls and beautiful bikes starting at 6.
Now for more tape.
Remember, sports fans, your tickets still from any sporting event gets you in the door with no cover. Totally new, 18 and up.
Check it for burrs before I lay it down. If they're, there's usually a tiny little piece of the end of the coil wire poking out of the solder joint from where I cut it. Just make sure that lays down because it's actually strong enough to stick through the tape once it has a little solder on it. So we got start and finish leads on the coil. Now it's time to tape it up. It's probably one of those things that, I would have said it before, if I had a boss other than myself, I'd probably get in trouble for taking too much time, but I'm not concerned with that. I just want to put out something that's high quality and built right. It's all in the details really, and I learned that a long time ago building engines, and it kind of makes me look at everything that way. So tuck the tape in next to the start and finish leads, keep wrapping. This will protect the coil and kind of lock in everything, including the tension of it, which is important because this is a non-potted pickup. And we don't want any unwanted microphonics or anything like that. I'm just kind of running the tape somewhat of a diagonal pattern, starting at the top edge and working my way down the bottom as I put each layer on.
Transferring your prior credits to our Livonia or Warren campus is easy. Call 855 Davenport.
This is going to be the screw side of the bridge. I usually make sure to terminate the tape so it's on the inside, so it doesn't get snagged by anything. So there we go, finished coil. I'll repeat this with all the other ones. Not on camera though, because it'll probably get boring, and then we'll catch up with assembly.